What are you doing here?
Well, I had a presentation on Monday,
Oh,
and
nice.
I did a presentation with Eric Peacock, who is the CEO and founder of My Health Teams, and we did a session on use of social networks to better engage with patients. And so, my portion of the presentation was about how does biotech, or I work for Biogen, how is we as a company incorporate, like how do we leverage those social networks to better understand what we call the voice of the patient and what really matters to patients,
Interesting.
and to try to um, you know uh, meet the patient's unmet needs, because I think as an industry we focus on our providers and what's important to the providers, and the end consumer is really the patient.
Patient, of course, yeah.
And so it's a matter of understanding what's important to patients, and hopefully through research or our real world data generation that we can, start to understand and uh, drive that evidence and data that's really important to patients.
Wow. And then you use social media. I mean, social media is also part of the RWE. I mean, you're looking at social media listening as a way to gather insight from patients.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
right. So these social networks where patients, it's called My MS Teams. It's over 125,000 MS patients.
That's awesome.
In English, speaking countries,
Yeah.
and they just share and connect with
Yeah.
one another. And these social networks allow patients with chronic diseases to communicate with others that have that same disease. So one, you don't feel like you're alone, and then two, you learn from one another, because I think there is a gap in what physicians are telling patients, and they're not doing a really great job of educating patients in what to expect, and some of the symptoms that they're experiencing. So we're able to really understand, right, that patient perspective, and hopefully again through research that we're able to better understand the needs of patients, and then be able to communicate and educate to them about things that are important. And so one of our things was cognition, and that MS, right, does have an impact on cognition,
Sure.
and actually earlier than what we had first anticipated.
Wow.
So we worked with My Health Teams to develop a cognition resource center to better educate our patients with
Interesting.
MS.